So, hello everyone. My name is Nilesh Pawar, and my project of system software engineering is voting system using C language. And I prefer this project because I wanted to create a voting system which was efficient, which can be used all over the domains. Let's say, if you're using it for your college, university election purpose, if you're using it for your class representative election purpose, and it should be there should be no mischiefs in it. It should be so different from the current voting system, which can be manipulated by the external factors, but it should be unique. That's why I choose this project. So, let's get an idea what is a voting system. So, voting system is a fundamental part of any democratic process, allows citizens to express their preferences and make decisions collectively. As we all know, voting system is just us casting a vote or us selecting our own representative or which the person which will speak the facts and thoughts of ourselves. And the voting system method is conducted. You are using a voting ballot, and votes are counted at the end, and the and at the end the results are released on the portal. So, voting system in C language. So, when I created this voting system, so what I wanted to add, these are the some points. There is user authentication. The voting system should include a user authentication process to ensure that only authorized voters can cast their votes. Okay, no person, as I already told, there should not be any mischief with your voting system. So no person from outside your domain should come and just cast a vote. It shouldn't happen. It should be secure and robust. The voting system should be user friendly. It should has a user-friendly interface. The online voting system should have a user-friendly interface, which is easy to navigate and use. That can include clear instructions on how to cast a vote. So, and the voting system should be a real-time voting system. Means when multiple votes are casted, it should keep all the real-time records of each vote and it should update at real time. Okay, it shouldn't be like at the end it will calculate all votes and give a final result. No, it should update whenever a user casts the vote. Next was data security. At the end, when the votes are cast, these votes are the most important factor which shouldn't be manipulated, which shouldn't be changed. So there should be a data security feature. You should encrypt your code. You should encrypt your let's say messages and add some firewalls and features. So this is what and there were some steps included. What were the steps included? First, let's say planning and design of the voting system. So here are the some steps included. Without the further ado, let's jump to our code of our voting system. So this is the code of our voting system. As you can see, first there is our standard input output library. This is our preprocessor directive, includes the standard output, this one. And next we have created a macro component, a macro constant, which is our candidate count. This macro constant is our candidate count with there is no value assigned. Okay. And this is our preprocessor directive that defines a constant macro candidate. Now, next we created our some more macro constant which are candidates and we have assigned the value uh, with each string, which is David Hull, Christian Canella, Jim Brar, Donald Trump. These are the values assigned to our constant macro. Now, next we have created the five integer variables that store and counts the votes. Whenever user counts, here it will store. This is our variables, votes count. And later, we have created a cast votes vote function. This function This function, which calls our int, which includes all the variables, this function we have created. Then it prints the list of candidate and asks the user to input a choice from 1 to 4. As you can see here, this from you can see this is what it prints. Whenever you log in, this is what it is. This is what it prints. Okay. Now, next we have our one more function, which is this switch. Switch choices. Now, switch is basically you can say if not case one, then case two, then if not this, then that. This is our switch statement. So we created our switch statement, and the default case of switch statement is executed if the user inputs in invalid choice. Then we have our void vote count. This is one more function which again prints the vote of each candidate. Vote count. It prints the vote count of each candidate. This displays the voting statistics. The number of votes for each candidate has been cast. It prints total number of votes for each candidate and number of spoiled votes. So this is the half of our code. So basically what it does is it creates a macro here which assigns the value. Then we created a function which is our void cast vote. Then first we created a int. We stored the all votes in this section here. Then we added our cast vote function which will print this value. Then this function itself has a switch statement if a user selects. Okay, as you can see, I've commented the hold the screen. It will hold the screen unless and until the user gives an input. And thanks for the vote. After the voting, this will be the last. And these are some candidates' votes count, vote count, which was our function. If one vote is added, it will increment from here and put it here, and it will show what are the results. So next we have our switch choice. These are the same. You can see we created get leading candidate just to see which vote is higher. So we created our void get leading candidate function. Then we printed some things if vote counts one greater than counts two. These are the some attributes in if else if statement. If else statement uh, is used here. These are the conditional statements in C programming. Then this is our main function. So here we have created our switch function again, which will be our which will show what we need to do, what a user needs to do. Does he needs to cast the vote, or he needs to see the votes count, or get the leading candidate, and basically, and it will return zero. This is everything about the code. As you can see, uh, it has been kept simple. Now let's run. The ideally I have been using is Dev C++. Let's compile and run this. So it will show this on the terminal. Now, what we need to do? Does we need to cast a vote? So let's cast a vote. So whom we need to give a vote? Let's go with number one as well. So see, you can see this is thanks for the vote. And again, it will return to this menu to find the vote count. Let's go and find the vote count. See, after I enter 2, which is our find the vote count, as you can see here, I've created this do, which is used inside and which also has a switch statement. So after we enter the choice 2, as we already have casted a vote, the increment function which we used, increment, it increments from 0 to 1 and it assigns our macro David Hull one value. Then again it comes to our main function, which is what we need to do. We'll go with find leading candidate, and it will show David Hull is our leading candidate because it has vote 1 and rest all have 0. Okay, and let's exit from here. So this was everything about it. So these were the steps involved basically while writing the code. We implemented some security measure. We had some testing and debugging issues in our voting system, which we handled it quite efficiently. To create a simple, as I've showed already, this is the output of our voting system. And the voting system is totally implemented in C language, and it is easy to implement. Thank you.